What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we're jumping in with more Destiny 2 news. And in this one, Bungie continue to tease and preview elements of the Final Shape expansion. So today we get a new kind of mini enemy trailer, as well as a look at one of the new weapons for Final Shape, and an in-game render for the Witness. There's also a tease for a potential mystery character, and then we're going to talk about new details for the 0 Hour exotic mission, some additional rewards, hidden puzzles, Siva clusters, upgrades, and more. But there are also some extra details about the season finale, secrets, and potential rewards on that front. And so we're going to talk about it all in the video, guys. As always, I hope you find this one today interesting, and if you do, a rating below really does help us out. But without further delay, let's get into it. And initially, Bungie did share a new trailer for some of the dread enemies that we're going to get with the Final Shape, and this one's focused on the Harbinger and the Weaver, so check this out. And so firstly, these guys look pretty scary. The Guardian's getting booped, suspended, stranded, and all that stuff. It looks pretty rough. The enemies themselves are really cool as well, I like the designs, but additionally in the gameplay, we see a fusion rifle, and this is the new destination fusion rifle for the Pale Heart. So we can see it's got some of the Vanguard artwork on the side. I believe it's actually a Cora, but it's a pretty interesting model for a fusion rifle, kind of a mashup between an auto and a fusion. We can see it has solar damage as well. And so another minor look at one of the weapons from the set for the Pale Heart. I did make a separate video breaking down everything that we'd managed to find out from the footage for the Final Shape destination weapons as well, so you can check that out linked below if you want to. But I'd imagine we're going to be getting more of these enemy trailers, considering Bungie only highlighted a couple of them there, so I'm sure more will come very soon. But another interesting element today, and Bungie announced the Cosplay Cosmodrome for 2024, where a bunch of well-known cosplayers are going to come up with character designs for Destiny 2 NPCs. Interestingly though, for folks who want to jump in with a cosplay in, Bungie did provide what appears to be an in-game render for the Witness. So this will be the Witness that we actually see in-game for the Final Shape. And while most of the cosplayers are going to be playing characters we're already kind of familiar with, as Bungie teased here, it would appear one of them is going to be playing a redacted character, so presumably a new character, or one which will actually be introduced into the game itself during the Final Shape. So it's going to be interesting to see who that will be. Otherwise, no doubt we're going to get plenty more Final Shape news very soon, so keep it locked and loaded here on the channel. Up next though, let's talk a little bit about 0 Hour, which is going to be the next exotic mission coming up. I believe it's May 14th. And as we know, we'll be picking up the Outbreak Perfected. It kicks off with a quest called Asset Protection, and Ada 1 requires our assistance to recreate a renowned weapon. So we'll have to start by visiting Ada in the Annex. And much like we've seen with Whisper and other exotic missions, the first time will simply require an initial run, which will award us with the craftable version of the weapon. But following that, we'll get a series of refined quests to unlock the additional upgrades. Some of them will be dropping week over week, but Outbreak Refined 1 requires us to defeat Fallen in the Cosmodrome to claim inert Siva clusters. And then we'll need to toggle the first pair of switches in the 0 Hour mission on Legend difficulty before finishing the mission and returning to the tower to speak to Ada. And toggling switches is going to be a common theme with these quests. So Outbreak Refined 2 requires us to initially visit the Exodus Garden 2A Lost sector in the Cosmodrome, and there we'll need to defeat Fallen to get Siva clusters once again. Then we'll have to head into the mission on Legend difficulty and toggle the second pair of switches before completing it and returning to Ada. And Outbreak Refined 3 requires us to firstly jump into the Devil's Lair strike, where defeating Fallen will once again drop Siva clusters. Then we'll need to toggle the final pair of switches in the 0 Hour mission to get the last of the upgrades. And as we've seen for main traits on Outbreak, via crafting we'll be able to get Outlaw, as well as Rapid Hit, Rewind rounds, and Headseeker on the weapon. Plus we get barrel and magazine options, as well as the intrinsic stat upgrades. But another component, much like with Whisper of the Worm, is that there'll be the exotic ship, and this is the Vimana Junker. So it's an upgraded version of the original 0 Hour ship. And to get this, we need to complete all 3 vault puzzles in the mission. And so that suggests in the vault room before the final boss that there'll actually be a handful of puzzles this time around. And completing those will grant us the Vaulted Obstacles triumph, as well as the exotic ship itself. But other additional triumphs for the mission include Quarter Hour to complete the exotic mission in under 15 minutes, Nimble to survive Trevor's maze and reach the Cryptarch Vault in the exotic mission without dying. There's one to simply complete it on Legend difficulty, and then to complete 0 Hour without dying, plus there's a solo triumph as well. So I'm looking forward to that, and I'll keep you posted if we get any additional details. The final thing I wanted to talk about in the video for today though is the season finale, and via Bungie leaks on Twitter, Harry shared supposed information about the mission. So naturally, a spoiler alert is always necessary here, but as has been known for a little while, the mission name for the finale will be Closer to the Heart, and they say it seems to take place in the Black Garden, more specifically in the Star-Crossed exotic mission area. But we also know that there'll be a Bungie store reward, we don't know exactly what it is, and they list a potential reward of the Guardian Glam emblem. Now this is a really cool emblem, but this is difficult to verify if it's actually a reward for the finale, as the database lists it as dropping via a special offer, so it's hard to validate that, although we do know that we'll get a new exotic ship from the finale called Unforeseen Consequences. And that's a pretty cool one. Presumably, this finale mission is going to happen in the last couple of weeks of the season, so sometime in the back end of May. But according to this post, objectives include finding the heart, exploring the Black Garden, before defeating the Withdrawn Mind, stopping the Vex from pouring into the Black Garden by taking out their gateways, and finally defeating the Temporal Progeny, a giant Vex who guards the Black Garden. So on that basis, pretty similar to the Black Garden mission in D1, but also the deterministic Chaos quest from Lightfall, so it seems like there'll be a solid dose of nostalgia there as well. For today though guys, that's what we have to speak about in this video, so as always, I hope you've enjoyed it and found it interesting. We'll be getting plenty more news even this week, with it being Thursday. We'll probably get more details in the TWAB later on, so I'll keep you posted there if we get anything interesting. But give us your thoughts in the comment section. Also be sure to get subscribed if you've enjoyed the video and want to see more. Plus a rating below helps us out on the channel. Otherwise though, I very much appreciate all of you tuning in, and I hope you guys have an awesome day.
The ground beneath my feet is a memory. So is the grass and the sky. Warmth of the sun on my face. And around every corner, every familiar hallway, I keep expecting to see you. But instead, corruption, a blight, sickness spreading through the Traveler. Because the Traveler's where I am, isn't it? This disease, I can feel it too. Something in the pit of me knows it won't stop after it's consumed this place. You, me, the entirety of everything and everyone we know. It wants to infect it all. We gotta stop what's happening here. Now. Before it's too late.